Hello and welcome everyone. And today we're going to be talking about how to pick the right AI tool for your business. Now, this is perfect if you're an entrepreneur. If you're a small business owner and you feel overwhelmed with all of these different tech tools to choose from, today we're going to be breaking down all the best ones that we use that save us time step by step what we're using. And in the comment section down below, let me know what you're trying to create and what kind of questions you have regarding AI. So, again, we're going to be talking about how to pick the right tool. We're going to go through the three steps that we walk through with our own clients and our own students. And then we're going to allow you to ask us questions of what you would like to hear from. And also, too, we have a brand new community that we're soft launching. If you are a freelancer, you work with automation or AI, and you're interested to hear more about vibe coding, all of those things, the link is going to be in the description or in the chat for you to sign up right now to get access to the community after putting in information about your application. So I'll put that in the chat right here and let's get right into it. So, we're going to be talking about how to pick the right tool for your business, the right AI tool. And this breaks down into three different things. Okay. Let's talk about the first one. The first one is, what is your goal? Now, that might seem very simple, but there are so many different AI tools out there. It's really easy to get overwhelmed where you should begin. So, I want you to put in the chat or do hashtag replay if you're watching this on replay. What are you trying to create? Are you looking for AI to help you with your emails, with your copy, what you're saying? Or are you looking for help with perhaps video or maybe editing? What are you asking it for? What are you using AI for? Now, let's go through a couple examples as we look at this. This is just one of my accounts. I'm going to go out for a moment and then we're going to go to the script. Okay. So let's talk about your goal. So, as a business owner, you might have a couple different goals. Number one, you might be trying to think about how can you save time as a business owner. So you might be thinking about analytics of what you need to understand what your business is doing and what it's not doing. Or maybe it's customer support. Depending on what it is, you can use different tools. Let's go for the example of customer support. If I'm trying to do something with customer support, I'm probably going to need to create something like a chatbot or other things that I can put on my site so I can answer my customers, give them real time feedback, and now I can scale my brand. What we would use is something like Chatbase. This allows us to create AI agents and chatbots that align with a specific brand. And if you're looking at Chatbase right here, you can see how it's using these different it's using its own thing. This is Chatbase. You're able to see to interact with what Chatbase is, and now it's actually being a chatbot. You can actually program it for different businesses. Say, for instance, it's a service-based business. If it's a electrician, a plumber, etc., maybe they have a limited amount of staff and people are contacting them all day long. They could have something like this already responding to them, but having all of the knowledge based around their business. That's what you could do with Chatbase. So you could have this as a business owner, or if you are a freelancer and you're trying to get a leg up in the competition, how can you position yourself? You can be building these custom AI chatbots for small businesses. We've seen this with laundromats, we've seen this with window cleaners, the list goes on and on. If you are serving a service based business in a local community, these are a great way to get started. So, again, let me know in the comment section if you have ever created this or if you want us to break down how we would do this step by step. Now, that is just one example. If we went here, what is your goal? You need to first decide what is your goal that you want to reach and how can this tool help you? AI is not some mystical thing that can do everything, but you can use it in very specific ways to transform your business, to get you more time and make you more income for your business. But you have to be really clear on what you're trying to create. So, okay, we've got that down pat. The next thing that we're going to be doing is looking at what is causing you time or stress. So if you're spending time where maybe you're spending time with editing. Let's go with this one. Maybe you're trying to edit videos and you just feel overwhelmed with the editing process. You can use the script and using their powerful underlord to either make edits or even change different effects to create an interactive video, more engaging. It can do subtitles. It can zoom in and out. You can do tons of things using transcript, and this has cut our editing time in probably it's cut down 60% just using this tool. So why are we saying this? It really depends on what you're trying to create. You find a platform that works for you. Okay. So, and again, we're going to go through and we'll talk about creating UGC things, user generated content using Higgsfield in a moment, but just giving you an idea of you have to decide where are you in your business and then be able to go from there. Okay. The other thing that we're looking at is, say, for instance, if we're working with certain clients and they need help with transcriptions or summaries of their content, that's why we use something called transcript.lol. This allows us to then be able to be a lot quicker and help them as they're editing their content. So if you're looking at um, a trend here, we're really identifying where is the business spending most of their time, how can we help them and keep it more streamlined for them to save more time. This is something that we use. Transcript allows us to be a lot more effective and be able to go from there. Okay, so that's another example. Again, let me know in the comment section down below. What are you using? What are you having questions on? And then we can talk about what platform or what we could be doing as well. Another one that we use quite a bit, if we're trying to create minimal viable products or MVPs, we're using something called Lovable. Lovable allows you to create applications very quickly and they look beautiful. And now that they have the new integration with Shopify, there are tons of different ways we can help different customers if they have an e-commerce store and the like. And what I like about it is you can also see the community. You can look at what other people are building. You can remix their project and really get the ball rolling really quickly. If I'm trying to create a marketplace, if I'm trying to create really all different types of applications, you can be doing this right here. Okay, so let's go back to our section. What is your goal? What is causing you time or stress? And what tools are you already using? So if you're using ChatGPT, we might say, okay, are you using the pro features? Do you know about the pro features, such as the folders and how you can create custom projects? Or if you're going to use voice mode, there's tons of different ways that we can be doing this. Or are you using a platform such as um, let's see, transcript or something like that. That allows you to really decide how you can be using your time effectively with the platforms you're already using. We gotta say this real quick. Man, Life with Sean, we appreciate this. We appreciate the super chat.
Super chat.
Thank you so much. Keep the great info coming, Doc. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, all that we do here. Really appreciate your kind donation and the super chat. So thank you so much. Then ask us any questions too. Let us know what you need help with. We can deep dive into that. So it's great. Okay. So we have the script as an example. We went to transcript.lol. If you might have heard of Nano Banana, this is allowing you to create images out of text, and this can be free. You can start from this using the AI Studio at google.com. It's free, and you can start using that. Okay, so let's talk about a few different ways if you're a freelancer and you're trying to decide how can you have different offerings for that differentiates you in the market and what you need to learn. So let's start with let's start with Chatbase first, and now allow us to then go into Lovable, and then we're going to go into Higgsfield, which is a tool that we use quite a bit for a couple different things. So let's take a look. The first one is Chatbase. Again, if you're used to using ChatGPT, it's just creating your own GPT or your own agent or chatbot for you. So if we go into the dashboard here, we can say new agent, and now we can decide what the name of this is going to be. Let's make this Launch Labs Assistant. Okay. So we have that. Share your let's start with your link. Share your website to automatically build the AI. Sorry, my bad. I got a little bit too carried away. So what we want to do is first have our website. We're going to have Grand Factory Inc. as the source and the use case. We're going to make it, let's see. Oh, I like the different options. It says AI agent, customer support agent, language tutor, life coach, futuristic fashion advisor. That's interesting. I'm going to kinda have it as a life coach, um, and you see where it says set up manually other sources. I think I'm gonna do that as well. So, I'm going to connect it to my Notion account so we can have more information. Okay, connecting it to my Notion account. I'm adding it so it can connect to my favorite tools, and then I'm going to make it connect to build with me, build with me. There we go. Allow access. Okay, so it's authorizing right here. I'm just adding this in right here. It's importing all my data. So now you see all of the different pages that it's doing. It has 5 pages of all the different things I talked about. That's great. Connect. We already did that. New, new, new. Okay, it has all of that. Great. All right. So now that it has my Notion, that's great right here. Let's do a website. Let's just connect it to brandfactoryinc.com. And again, we're just making the chatbot smarter by adding all of these things. Which links, cool. So now we have all of these things right here. Link here. Oh, let's just select all. Can we select all the pages too? Select all 100 items. Cool. And let's go out here. Select all, select those. And then can we say import? Yep, that all is good right there. You're sure you want to restore? Restore. Okay, that's great. What I'm trying to do is making sure that everything is imported right there. Add snippets. We added the links. That's good. Enables AI agent to get the database. Yep. Selected. And I think that should be fine. Yeah. Do you want to restore all these? Okay. I'm going to go check on that to make sure, but we're going to train it on this one first. Make sure we have this and then keep going. Okay, training on that. Now it says the agent's UI, so what will it look like? I can decide to change the color if we want right here. We can say the agent name. We're going to say launch labs assistant. And we can even have a picture if we want to, but we're going to just say it looks good. We can change it to be, um, if we want to do dark mode or not. We're just going to keep it standard. Okay. And then right here, now it says the agent's personality. We can break down the different roles and then the constraints. So the role is it says you are an AI bot who helps users with their inquiries, issues, and requests. You aim to provide excellent, friendly, and efficient replies all the time. So this allows us to understand or give a personality of the bot. We could also say it's a life coach, it is your secretary, whatever you'd like, and then it will respond based on what you're looking to do. Okay, We're going to confirm settings. And then right here, now we have made our first chatbot that we can now test out, do all of these things, and use this for ourselves or build this for our clients. We can even say deploy right here, and we can make it a chat widget. We can make it a help page. We can also set it up and connect with Slack or Instagram. We can make an API so then it starts talking to two different systems. We can do all of that. And what do we do that? In less than 4 minutes, and we just had that all there. So now this allows us again to be effective, be able to have this as a tool for our own business, or we could have this office for us as well. You see how we can embed it right here. We copy it and we can embed this on a page, or we can have it as an iframe. And that just means we can embed it directly into a website and make it more, um, I would just say, more streamlined. Chat is going to be similar to this, where it's going to be at the bottom, or we could just change it over there. So, Paulie, what's going on? Dustin, be effective. Yeah, tell me more. Don't know what's going on, but thanks for being here. Oh, you're saying for it to be more effective? A word phrase for that? Okay, cool. So we have that right here. Okay, so we have that for a chat base. Okay, so for a chat bot or something like that. Let's see. Yeah, you actually want to make a chat bot for my site at one point. Yeah, yeah. It's a great way to do it for sure. Okay, cool. And again, if you want to be part of the new community that we just launched, and if you're a developer or you're an entrepreneur or you do gig work or a freelancer and you're looking to get more opportunities, we're going to be able to talk about this more that we're launching later this month for Launch Labs. But if you would like to join as a partner, make sure that you sign up with the link down below for you to get access to the community as well, and very specific offers with different agencies and businesses that are looking for ones that can help them with their AI integration for their business. All right, so we just went to Chatbase, and by the way, shout out to AppSumo. I got this deal years ago. Chatbase has just really taken off. Probably one of the best deals I ever got of the year. AppSumo site where you can get lifetime deals. So, again, we buy and test a lot of different platforms, but this is probably the pick of the year, uh, almost like the pick of the 5 years, pretty much, in which we use it and what it's done for us. Okay. So Lovable is going to help you if you try to create an application. I will always say it's going to be an application that has one major feature. You're not going to create the next TikTok or Instagram, but you can create a very powerful micro SaaS or software as a service. So I would say play with this, see what you can do, but we've created some really interesting projects here. Um, we had a client that we were doing a test. They were doing something with frequencies, and they were looking at creating a game based on sound and different things like that. So it's pretty interesting what you can build in just a few minutes with Lovable. So I would say try it out, but if it is similar to if you're used to ChatGPT where you write things, you're gonna describe your application and then be able to build out an application. If you want us to go step by step and show you how we use Lovable, there's a link down below for Lovable for beginners. If you want me to do it live, let me know so I can show you an example. Okay. So the next portion, what we're going to be really focusing on is something that we see a huge opportunity is creating content for user generated content. You might see that as someone that's an influencer might needing to create an ad for a product. They're on Instagram or on TikTok. You're going to be able to do this using Sora and other platforms to be able to mimic that. So let me log in real quick, and you're going to be able to see an example of that. Let's go over here to video. And so what we're going to do is we're going to show examples of creating content for your customer that might just need it for ads or for marketing in general. So the first section is if you want to get inspiration, you can of course go to the Explore and check out the different sections and what people are doing here. If you have used the Store app, you can also see what's trending and see like different like crazy situations. Be able to do something like that pretty easily. Uh, that is something if you're trying to create something maybe more viral or something. But there are tons of businesses that need help. Besides that, let's do this real quick. Let's make it a YouTube short. I'm going to say two people get in a fight in a McDonald's, and then also there are chickens and a knife fight with two mice, something like that. We're gonna see what it does. Okay, so it's gonna generate this, and a lot of people see this. It's just very ultra realistic, different things that Sora can do. But let's look at how we could do this for a business. So, say for instance, if we're going to images, let's see, probably because I'm trying to do multiple things at once. Is this why? Let us see. Let's see if we can go back to our other examples of what we've generated in the past. Okay, yeah. So, an example of this, we've done this in past videos. Like, say for instance, we had a picture of just me holding actually a notebook, and then we said, "Make it like cereal," and we're seeing how it generated that. Um, for another company, we had to create, just basically a documentary, so we were looking at creating different, 3D rendering of what's happening and describing it. But then also too, for our launch labs, this was a picture that Sabrina made, and then also we wanted to animate it so it can animate different things very quickly. And then here is different rendering. We were talking with a client that wanted to start doing fights in his store, so we started generating that as well. Right, wanted to do something more viral and show where his shop was, so we did that. But then this is the example of user generated content for a possible brand. Now, if you're looking at this right here, we're having the prompt on the right hand side of what kind of AI generation we're looking to do. And now we have an example of what it produced using Sora. We can see a couple different examples. And look, you can see the positioning of the product, how they're holding the camera. And now think about this for a company that has a limited budget for possibly influencers and they're looking for a more organic look and feel for their product. They can be using something like this. And you could be creating multiple variations of this. So imagine this. If I know for myself, we get hit up for sponsorship quite regularly. If we do a 30-second video, we charge for different variations if you're doing like 3 different types of ads. Using something like Higgsfield or other formats or other platforms, you could be they could be paying you, and you could charge them for different variations that you're just making different AI versions of different ones that are gonna be promoting their ads. Some people might find that's kinda creepy, but it's been going on for quite a bit, for the last year or so. Really last 2 years, but now it's actually getting really good where it's really hard to tell unless you're looking at very specific things. Now, again, depending on the zooming in and what you want, you can tell it the different, angle, what you want the person to do, and then you can connect it together if you're going to do multiple sections of the ad, if you're gonna be changing positioning. Let me know in the comment section if you've ever used Higgsfield, if you've ever heard of things like this, let me know. And then also too, you could be using this for B-roll. If people are doing different micro documentaries, you can do that. And what we heard was from multiple videographers, they use B-roll if they can't get into a certain part of the city or something like that. You could be doing this with something like Sora or other platforms as well. So these are just a couple examples of what you're able to do with video. And let's just go for an example right here. How do we do this? Well, let's do image first. Okay, so we're having trouble with image right here. Okay, no worries. So video, you're going to pick the model, and that just means similar to what kind of large language model you use. Maybe you've heard of like GPT-5 or another one, Claude Sonnet 4.5, whatever. This allows you to pick a model of what kind of video that you're going to make, what kind of model you're using to make the video. So I can use something like Sora 2 Enhancer. I can use uh, Higgsfield's one. I can use Kling. It the list goes on and on. But say, for instance, I pick this one, and then and you see how we had a couple that we already generated today. We're trying out different ones also too. Uh, we were in class the other night, and this was an idea that someone had. Shout out to Kristen. But this is an elephant dancing and then spitting out their denture. Yeah, you can make it do a lot of crazy stuff. So when you're looking at this, you're gonna first on the left-hand side be able to upload an image or generate it, right? So I can generate an image before I get over to video, or I can just use the prompt. I can describe the scene, what I'm imagining. I can enhance it, which just basically means my prompt gets a little bit better. I can pick the model right here, and then I can change the duration. How long is the duration gonna be? 3 seconds, 5 seconds. Says steps, better quality takes more steps, costs more. Makes sense. And then also the speed. Okay, cool. So we have that. It generates all of those things. What is this? I think we were in the middle of this before. Um, while we are doing this. Now, again, depends on the model that you're using and what you're referencing. They're very careful now with making sure you're not just using a celebrity or using someone, um, another person, that you don't have the rights to, and then creating, possibly harmful content around it. So, it's going to allow you to choose, a generic template of a different type of avatar, but if you're trying to say, "Well, I want George Clooney," a lot of these models, unless you do a lot of editing, you can't just take a celebrity and then just manipulate it for your ad. There are other platforms that happens with, but again, when you're something like Xfield or others, they're trying to prevent a lot of those things. So if it's your own face, things like that, there are ways around it, but you're trying to decrease the amount of abuse in the system, basically. Okay, so this is an example of if you get a client that says, "Hey, I want to create an ad for my product or company," you can then go step by step and use these different things to be able to create an advertising um, ad for them. Now, you can do a couple different things here. Let's take a look. Like I said, we go to video, we go to Higgsfield right here. We're putting it in and then going from here. Now, also to note, Higgsfield also has a section if you're going to do user generated content if you're an agency as well. So you're going to be able to pick the positioning, the exact scenario if you're going to be trying to do a certain type of advertisement. I think this is super helpful for depending on the client that you have. And let me get clarification on one thing. I want to make sure that we have it for UGC and optimizing it. Okay. So if we look at that, thanks so much. Shout out to the team and Sabrina. If we look under video right here, and you can see this, you're seeing Creative Video, Lip Sync Studio. And then if we look at UGC Factory, build UGC videos with avatars. Now you can do this with Hugging Face and a couple other platforms, but this is really going to allow you to just make it a lot easier, honestly. You can go with a template here. You can see select the template, how the character moves, the camera angle, and I would say these are a lot of best of use cases or very common styles. But also you can also go with image, the action, describe the action, audio text, and then audio settings here. And this is step one. You can always run it through and add like 11 labs later on if you want a different voice or something like that. And then you can describe the background, city noise, crowd cheering, rain sounds, all those things. So you can go step by step and really build out good, uh, a really good set right here. So let's go with this. I'm going to go with Google VO3. And again, if you notice this, you could do this with uh, Google VO3, but this platform allows you to have the best models all at once without switching platforms and all those things. This has everything all in one. That also allows you to have product placement, upload the avatar, upload the product right here, and then you can go from there. And so if you look at this here, we've already had this section of like what we're selling here, and then example of the input of the avatar, and then going from here. We can go step by step. So let's uh let's try to use two different things and like build something out real quick. Let's go back to video. Go to back to UGC. Let's try this. Let's go to selling and avatar. Let's go to AI Studio. Now, again, I guess I could do this in Higgsfield. Let's just keep everything in Higgsfield. Let's just do it. Create image. Can I do that? Looks like the image is having an error right now. See if I can refresh. Let's try to use. Can I just use Nano Banana for this one? Let's try real quick. Nope, still having trouble with video. I mean, with images right now. That's okay. That's why we have different things that we can use. Let's use audio. Let's just go into AI Studio and use Nano Banana direct from Google. So what I'm going to say is, I want to create a UGC ad. Create for me a UGC model in their 20s. Yeah, we'll start there. Start. The product is going to be fitness focused. So we put this in. Let's look for it. It says, oh, okay. That's fine. And we said fitness, right? Always about hydration. Everyone's all about hydration. Okay. So the avatar, let's make the avatar without the model. So I'm going to create this. It's going to say branch from here. I'm just going to say, it's going to go from here and it's going to say start typing. Make the UGC model not hold the bottle of water. Hands to her side. Okay. So we're using that. And what we'll do is in the next one, we'll create the image for the bottle of water, the product, and everything. Okay, cool. So we have just hands to the side. Let's use that. Let's move that. Let's put in this. Okay, now let's look at the object. Create for me a product for wellness. It's probably going to be a special water bottle. So, right? Let me know if you guys have already done this before, if you have questions, if this is brand new, if this is interesting, if you want me to talk about building an app instead, let us know what kind of aspect of AI you want to talk about. Oh, this is it. There's a special water bottle designed for health. That's interesting. Let's download it. Let's put this in here, and we're going to see what it does. Okay, so we have that combined for free. We're going to do that. template, selling, actions, add an action gesture. We'll just say smiling and holding the product close to the camera. Yeah, I don't want to do close to the camera. I'll just be smiling. Smiling and excited to use the product. We'll do that. Okay, so we have that. This is auto text. We'll say, don't you wish you had a glass of water after your workout? Very generic. We'll just see if it works. I don't want to hear about script writing. I don't want to hear about all this stuff. Oh, okay. We just did that. What just happened? Did you think I was done? I was not done. Hold on one second. Let me go back. Did I hold myself? Cool. Wonder why I did all that. Okay, cool. Actions. Am I audio? Let's do that. Next. Emotion, we'll say happy. Voice, whispering a bit, rough. I'm doing auto. Auto, accent, that's fine. Background, at a gym. Cool. Let's generate. Oh, so I have to provide an image if I want to do that. How do I do that? Enhance the mood of background. Oh, you know what? What am I saying? I need just gym sounds. What am I thinking? Thinking about background. Provide an image. What have I not done? Provide an image. To place your product with avatar, generate new images in the image hub. Okay, let's combine that. This might take 60 seconds. Okay, that's fine. And yeah, oh, someone's asking, can you do this with N8N? Yes, you're gonna have to do that with APIs as well. So N8N allows you to do automation and scale, but with N8N, you're going to need to do a little bit more finessing to make it exactly the way that you want it. I would say it's still better if you're trying to scale with ads, you're running like 100 different variations of ads. The AI avatar is wearing like 7 different sets of clothes. The product looks 3 different ways. That's where N8N comes in. So that's mass production for ads. I probably wouldn't start there. I'd first get used to understanding how you're going to describe all of those different things from there, using something like this environment, and then scaling from there. So we're in the queue, and again, depending on the time and when you're creating this, sometimes it fails just because the system is being overloaded because so many people are generating things. That happens. But again, we just looked at examples, but this is the steps, right? Using the templates, we already create the images. We can do it in Higgsfield. We can use AI Studio to do this. The more descriptions or the more that you're going to be detailed, you're going to be able to then use this more effectively and then go from there. Let me look at the past chat. Yeah, we just did a variation of that. Okay, cool. And yep, your prompt for file maybe include unsupported context. Okay. This is one of those things. Sometimes this happens. So we'll go back, we'll give more details, and we're seeing something went wrong. So it could just be a server right now, and we come back and look at what's happening. That's okay. That's okay. So again, so when we're offering different services, different tools, AI tools for local businesses, or if you're trying to do this as a freelancer, there's a couple things we have to think about. What is your goal, first of all? How are you planning to implement this as a tool? And this is a tool. This isn't a magic wand and it can do anything. It's a tool with limitations. Think about what you want to do in your business. Number 2, what is causing you time or stress? Think about how can you use AI to eliminate needless manual tasks, such as we looked at Descript. How can we cut down on editing time? We can use that to cut out all of the silence or cut out all of the uh, takes that weren't very good. We can do that all by using the power of AI, or we can also do different editing techniques automatically using something like the script. Also, too, Notebook LM, I can't say enough about it. It's great. If I'm trying to learn how to study for a subject, we've done this with either our past students or while I was teaching, I showed students how to do this, how you could create different resource guides, flashcards, different activities to learn a different subject, and it also allows you to create a summary podcast where it's very natural language and you can learn a subject if you want to hear it as an audio experience as well. So that's another thing that we use. What tools are you already using? If you're using ChatGPT, that's great. Can you use it more effectively? For example, I use it quite a bit, that in Claude, and then I use other GPTs or other things that are very specific in my workflow that allows me to be more effective. I have different projects, so it's very laser focused on what I'm trying to do. And then GPTs allow you to have a structure of how you're going to basically uh, do a certain activity. Like, for example, this is from George. What was it? George Blackwood, I believe. This is from. Let me see. What is George's last name? Let me not botch this further. George Blackman. Yeah, so he's a script writer. So he has an AI scripting toolbox, and so you see right here, this helps us with our hooks, how we develop different different videos and all those things. Again, look at what tools you have, and then you can start incorporating that into your own workflow and not using a brand new platform necessarily. Then also too, if we're going to do something with video, or if we're going to have other options of what we're going to use for our business or offering our services to business, we can look at something like Higgsfield, where now it is a platform where you're getting the best of everything all together in one platform. Instead of you going to all these other platforms or different providers, you can use all of the different models all in one place and pay for one price for it. All right. So if you want to see more videos like this or join the community to learn more and to have the skills as AI is everywhere, make sure that you like and subscribe and you go to the link down below to get started today. This will allow you to be more effective in your business and also it allows you to see where you can um, possibly do more gig work or be more efficient with your own small business. We're going to do a larger launch and tell you more about what Launch Labs is going to be doing and the collaboration we're going to have with a huge company that we're excited to mention soon. But this is really going to be. Um, this is something that I've wanted for quite a long time, and now it's aligned how we can help other people and how we can integrate AI where it's appropriate into small businesses. So if you're interested to hear more, let me know. We're going to come back later this week with more videos and showing you how to use different AI tools in your workflow. If you want to learn how to use anything like Lovable or other platforms, let me know in the comment section down below. And again, thank you for everyone for joining today and learning and asking questions and all those things. And again, thank you for our super chat. Uh, Life with Sean, we really do appreciate all the support of the channel.
Super
And
chat.
again, thank you so much for taking the time for being here. All right, everybody, we'll see you next time on the stream. And if you have any questions, let us know. All right, everybody, have a great night. Bye bye.